tassa bhagavato arahato sammāsambuddhasa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sammāsambuddhasa. So arriving at what we call meditation, notice if you automatically do a bunch of things, if you adjust your posture, if you close your eyes. I do many of these things. Notice if you gather your attention in a certain way, if you go right away to the breath. All of that is fine. But let's begin just with the orientation to presence by just noticing that we are awake, that we are where we are in space, in time. I'm here in this room, in this place, this hillside, this watershed, this town, this planet. In this moment, I'm just this moment in the history of humans, animals, plants, planet. It is now. And it's trite to say this in a way, but what happens in us when we bring our attention, our awareness into what we call the present? This is not a special state. It's not a highly concentrated state necessarily. You don't really have to try to do anything. It's more like we come out of states that we might habitually be in: distraction, rumination, fretting, fantasizing, figuring out. We want to come into meditation with a wise and helpful attitude. Notice if we have the felt sense that we're here to fix something about ourselves, to improve something about ourselves. Those things are good and they happen. But the ground of our practice is more, or is less complicated than that. It's less about where we're going, what we're becoming, or who we are even. When you come into the here and now, the senses become palpable. There's sounds and sights, sensations, energies. The doorway to an awareness style practice can be to just know the various sensations as they arise without moving toward them much. We don't need to pick them up and rub them and investigate them the way we might do in different kinds of vipassana. We don't need to hold them close in attention the way we might do if we're cultivating samadhi, concentration, focus. Notice that when anything happens, it happens in a way by itself. It doesn't require anything from our attention or energy to make it happen. Sounds appear by themselves. Sights appear when the eyes are open. Sensations on the body just appear. Whenever there's contact, you don't have to make sensation appear. Smells and tastes, energies in the body. And thoughts appear by themselves, like sounds arising in the inner ear, the inner eye, images. But you might notice with physical sounds that they appear and disappear. Even if you get curious about them, the sound of a bird outside my window, my engaging with it doesn't make it continue. Bird sings or doesn't by itself in the world. It's not me. It's not mine. And so I get to rest in relation to it. Thoughts feel a little different and they behave a little differently. The thought arises by itself like the bird song. But if I get interested in it unconsciously, that gives it fuel to continue and become more established. The trick in awareness practice with thinking is to be awake to the thinking as it arises, like birdsong, but not to move toward it. Not to need to do anything with it other than rest in its presence. And like a flicker of birdsong, it'll arise, it'll say its sentence, and then dissolve back into silence because there's nothing feeding it. So when a thought arises, not trying to push it away, but intentionally resisting the lure of its music. Most thoughts are a kind of echo of the past. some part of the story of our life so far ringing out again. And let it ring out without needing to do more with it. When we do this, we can notice that we're just aware. We're just awake to the sounds, awake to the sights, awake to sensations, awake to mental and emotional energies and inner thoughts and images. And they appear and disappear on their own. In this kind of practice, non-grasping and letting go are both the discipline and the fruit of practice. There's a discipline in not following the siren song of a fascinating habitual thought. And there's immediately a fruit, a result in the open space of the heart-mind. After the thought dissolves, after the sound returns back to silence. As we continue in this kind of practice, the fruit of a kind of inner silence persists no matter what sound is being sung, what's being seen, felt, thought. The knowing quality never does anything other than know. So resting with that, all of the doing swirls around and through the body, untroubled. So we'll practice in this way, resting at the center of the sensory world. Whenever you notice habitually grasping onto anything, sight, sound, sensation, idea, energy, notice the grasping as a kind of doing, and just relax more. Settle back toward the center. Let whatever is arising just arise and pass, appear and disappear on its own. And you return again and again to the silence of the one who knows. this awareness practice, and the space that it opens, suggests to me the orientation to wisdom sung famously in the Heart Sutra, or the heart of the perfection of wisdom. So we don't do this much in this group, and it's complex, but I'm going to chant the Heart Sutra in Sanskrit, close our meditation. Namo bhagavate arya pranya paramitaya namah sarvanyaya Aryavolokiteshvaro bodhisattva gambiran pranya paramitacharyam charmano vyavalokayati sma panchaskandang tamcha svabhava shunyan pashyati sma ihashariputra rupang shunyata iva rupang rupana pritak shunyata Shunyataya na pratakrupam evam eva vedana sannyāsamskaro vinyanam yashari putra sarvadharma shunyata lakshana anutpana aniruddha amala avimala anunna aparipurna tasma chariputra shunyatayam na rupam, na vedana, na sanya, na samskara, na vinyanam, na chakshur, na shrotram, na granam, na jiva, na kayo, na manaha, na rupam, na shabdo, na gando, na raso, na shpartavya, na dharma, na chakshur dhaturyavan, na mano vinya dhatuhu, Navindyakshayo yavanajara maranang najara maranakshayo nadukko nasamudayo nanurodho namargaha najnanam napraptihi tasmakshari putra apraptinvad bodhisattvasya prajna paramitang ashritya viharati varanaha Chitta varanana stituvara trastro viparyasati kranto nirvana paryavasanam triyadva vyavastita sarva buddha prajna paramitam ashritya anutarang samyak sambodhim navisambuddhaha tasma jnana Jnatavyam prajna paramita mahavindya anutara vindya samasama vindya sarvadukka prashamanaha samyaktva mityatvat prajna paramitayam ukto dharani tadyata gate gate parasangate bodhi swaha Prajna paramita hridayam samaptam.